1953, the common understanding was we cannot do securitization. It is wrong. So when I see my brother jumping from TV stations to the other, he needs to ask himself, how comes he's the only spokesperson of this thing? How comes the people he got in the National Treasury, none speaks for securitization? How comes it's only him?
Because it is the work of a cabinet secretary to speak about
No.
to speak about the ministry's policy direction.
No. I can tell you confidently, that's not the reason.
What is the reason?
It is wrong. And no one wants to be associated with anything wrong. So can I now go to privatization?
Yes, please. Because, please tackle this. One, privatization. Two, the manifesto which you supported spoke about an infrastructure bank.
Yes.
Which is now the National Infrastructure Fund.
Yes.
Actually, in the very same model that the manifesto spoke about. There was also the issue, which I want you to tackle. You've spoken about a lot of times, NSSF and the fact that its money is being used on Talanta.
You started with privatization.
Yes.
Ndindi Nyoro has never been against privatization. Look anywhere, any video, any document. I am actually a proponent of privatization. What I am against is for Kenya to go where Russia went. I think in the 2000s or thereabout. The creation of the Russian oligarchs is based on privatization. The basis of what I would call also oligarchs of a country like Zambia is also during privatization. It is no coincidence that the current president, Hakainde Hichilema, and the former president, Lugu, were all products of privatization. That's not a coincidence. One was a lawyer, the other one was a TA. Now, that's where we want Kenya to go.
Yes.
That we use a good thing to do a bad thing. And I say that many times. I know we'll talk about many things, but let me use this as an example. Take, for example, I've been saying, expand Nairobi Nakuru Road, but don't all Kenyans. That's where I start. Because I have fundamental reasons.
Yes.
But because the other guy in government wants to politicize it, they'll say, oh, no, you're against the construction of the road.
Yeah.
That's political convenience. I don't want to engage in that. So privatization, the problem is one. And I'll give you the scenario of the one I've been very vocal on.
Yes.
Safaricom. The issue is not whether we are selling Safaricom or not. Even when you attended the press conference in my office. The issue is about how much. We are selling Safaricom at 34 shillings.
True.
I said it is undervalued. The people in the National Treasury came and said, no, you know, the market is around 28, 30. You're actually getting a premium.
Yes.
I told them no. And I start by that even now. Why is my no?
I would want to know because I checked Safaricom's shares as at yesterday.
Yes.
And it's 28.8.
Precisely. Now, why do you think they are 28 and there is already a buy at 34? I'll give you the reason. Karanja, I've been in the capital market since my first year in campus. So the things I'm saying, I'm not saying them for political convenience. I know 100% that we are getting a raw deal in Safaricom. These are my points.
Okay. Explain to me like a layman. I'm not an accountant. I'm not an economist.
Yes.
And this applies to many Kenyans.
Yes.
Explain to us to understand why it is a raw deal.
Market price. That's what I heard from my good brother, the minister. That is the language of a buyer, not of a seller.
All right.
Let's start there. We are selling 15% GOK stake at around 204 billion shillings, discounting without talking about the dividends. So what is the basis? Market price. My friends, you are wrong. The market provides liquidity, but not necessarily valuation. There is something called a block sale when you are doing transactions in the stock market. And I'll give you the specifics.
Yes.
Currently, And I want you to get this very properly, Karanja.
Yes, that's why I came with my laptop.
There is a transaction currently in the market, in Kenya, not in any other country, happening in our own NSC.
Yes.
The anchor shareholder in EABL, they are selling their 65% stake to a Japanese company. It is actually a week ago.
Yes.
It is happening. The announcement was a week ago. It is currently happening. By the time they announced, EABL share was 252 shillings. Do you know how much they are buying it?
No, I don't.
They are buying it at an equivalent of 590 shillings per share. Are we clear on that?
Yes, we are.
Secondly,
That is close to double.
more than double. Not close,
More than double. True, indeed.
Secondly, I'll give you just a few. We had a transaction in Baburi Cement on Amson's. Okay, it's not a very good example to give because I know it's a patronage it's a patronage deal, but Amson bought into Baburi. If you look at the price of Baburi 1 year and a half ago, it was around 25. They bought it, I think, at around 65, a 175%. Let me give you the final one just because of time, but I could have given you more. In 2014, I was a practitioner. I was doing business, but I was buying shares, as I've done most of my time in terms of investments. So I had a company called Rea Vipingo, a few shares.
Yes.
Can't remember whether they were 10,000 or how many, but I suppose they were 10,000, just for your arithmetic. So in 2013 ending, an announcement came that a company called Rare Trading wanted to buy us out as small shareholders. The share was carried by that time at 27.5.
Yes.
They gave us a price of 40. I was so happy.
They first offer.
40. So if it is 10,000 shares, I had spent 20 to 75,000. There was a guy offering me 400,000.
Sure.
I was thrilled. I was still naive, as some of the guys I see naivety in this transaction. I was saying, bring the money, man. A few days later, Chris Kerobe and Centum petitioned CMA. They said, no, we have a counter offer. Open this thing up. CMA wakakubali. The thing was opened.
Yes.
Centum gave a bid of 50 bob. To me, I was wondering, why is Kerobe buying time, man? Me, I want this even 40 bob. Because by then I was still naive in the market.
Yes.
Another company subsequently offered 55.
The value kept going high.
You know what happened? Rare Trading had to look for Kerobe. By that time, he had 1% stake in Rare Vipingo. They told Kerobe, man, why can't you withdraw this thing? We talked like men. Kerobe negotiated for us. I am glad as a small time shareholder at that time. Do you know how much we ended up pocketing? I pocketed 85 shillings for my one share. So my 275,000 became 850,000 shillings in a span of a few months.
Yes.
Because of bidding. That's number one. I'm discounting the issue of market. There's nothing like market when you're doing a big-time transaction.
A block sale.
Second thing. How did you identify that the current seller is the current buyer is the one to buy? How? Who determined that these guys are the ones to buy our shares?
From what I had, Vodacom is the largest shareholder. So they're already in the business. They know the potential of the business.
Very good.
So the easiest people to buy.
Precisely. By the way, Ibrahim, you're actually also talking like the buyer. I know the business. I am the buyer. So all that argument is to who? To whose head? The buyer's head. These are government assets. They are either under privatization law or as Public Assets and Disposal Act. You are disposing our assets.
So you take it to the markets.
At the very least, there has to be some competition. That's number two. 3, what Vodafone Kenya and Vodacom noticed is our desperation. When we are doing such a transaction, and politely, I could have given a call to my brother, Honorable the CS. When you are doing a transaction, you never show desperation. What did he do? By the beginning of this year, he was already on TV saying we are selling Safaricom. Now, this is what happened, Ibrahim. Vodafone noticed. They immobilized their shares. Check records. 16 billion shares of Safaricom were immobilized in July of this year. By who? By Vodafone. Why? They wanted to show government, we might also think to sell. Why? To negotiate a good price for themselves. So the government was cornered from day one. So they went to a deal where they are already talking the language of the buyer because they had already shown themselves bare in terms of desperation. Let me give you the other issues that you need to check. There is a way companies are valued. When you go to our market, for example, banks, there is a way banks are valued. Not just through the market. Valuation, as I keep insisting, valuation is not about market. And before I give you this point, let me also bring this to the point, Karanja. I hold a few shares in Kenya Power myself.
Yeah.
So Kenya Power currently is valued at 24 billion shillings. 24 billion. You can buy the entire Kenya Power.
Yeah.
15 months ago, the same company was valued at 4 billion shillings. 4 billion.
Okay.
You could buy the entire Kenya Power. So if I came as Ndindi Nyoro and said, no, I want to buy these shares of Kenya Power, government, and I'm actually giving you double. So I'm giving you 10B. Can they sell to me? Can you even fathom Kenya Power selling at 10 billion shillings?
No.
Kenya Power valuation currently is 24 billion. A company with assets of over 401 billion shillings. Can the government sell it at 24 billion?
No, they can't.
Why are we selling Safaricom with the market price in mind? Why? That's private. That's a government-rated company. I'll give you another one. Kenya Re, government has 60% stake in Kenya Re. Kenya Re valuation in the market is 16 billion shillings. You can buy the entire Kenya Re. They have no loan. Their cash and cash equivalent alone, cash and cash equivalent, that means money in the bank and money in treasury bills and bonds is 41 billion. I've not talked about the real estate assets they have. So there is a company in the market called Kenya Re selling for 16 billion.
Yes.
But the money you are going, once you buy it and you open like this classroom, the money you get inside is 41 billion. And then you get real estate and the business itself. Can the government sell it at 16 billion? Where you are buying a company, inside it, they already have cash of 41 billion. Then why, if we can't do that to Kenya Power, to KenGen, to Kenya Re, why are we conveniently saying market price when it comes to Safaricom? Let me finish. The valuation of any company is based on parameters. When you are valuing a bank, you look at core capital, shareholders funds, etc.
Yes.
When you are valuing a telco, there are parameters you look at. The simple one is called a P/E ratio.
Yes.
P/E ratio measures this. The net earnings of the company, if you use the net earnings, current net earnings, how long would it take you to recover your investment if you are taking all the net earnings? Let me go slowly. If you buy a flat, that flat is collecting 1 million per year.
Yes.
You buy it at 10 million shillings. How long would it take you to recover your money?
10 years.
That is now P/E ratio. You get? So P/E ratio measures the period where you can recover your money using net earnings. Look at some telcos. MTN has a P/E ratio of 40. Bharti Airtel has a P/E ratio of around 33.
Yes.
Orange has a P/E ratio of 39. Safaricom, at the current price and this year's earnings, has a P/E ratio of 16.1. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And Safaricom has a bigger advantage from these two or three. Safaricom is more a fintech than a telco. So all I'm trying to say, Ibrahim, And I'm requesting those who are listening from government, sometimes conceding that you are wrong does not mean you are inferior.
Yes.
My take on this deal is for how can Kenya get the best return out of this sale?
So what is your proposal?
My proposal is simple, and I had given it when I was, this issue of selling Safaricom, this is that now. That's why, and I can tell you also.
Yeah, because it has actually been stated that you said it to the previous regime.
Yes.
Sell Safaricom.
Precisely.
So what is your proposal? How are we supposed to go around this?
This is how we are supposed to go about it. And let me first discount something. My brother, Buddy, I see him going around TV. I can humbly concede to you, I have more information about this transaction than the CS. He was not involved in this transaction. He was not involved in these negotiations. The people who were negotiating for government are actually not government officials. And the people who negotiated for government also do business with the buyers.
Okay.
So when you see me talk, I'm not talking kwa sababu sina kitu ya kusema, because I know Kenya is losing a lot of money here. This is what we could have done. And I had given this proposal. The initial stage, list Safaricom in the London Stock Exchange. That's number one. Give it a global exposure in a market with free flow of capital. List it in LSE. Don't show much. When you show hurry, you already sending signals to buyers. Your composure as a person negotiating for a good deal must not be one for desperation. So list in the LSE. After that, do one thing. Give an opening of only 2 months for international companies to bid. I can assure you here, Ibrahim, the 2 or 4 billion you are getting, we will get more than 350 billion. I can assure you. And I'm not saying it because it's just a statement to fly around.
Numbers, yeah.
It is, I am based in the capital markets. So the things I'm saying, I am certain. Open this deal, and I can tell you for sure, we'll get a bid from Etisalat.
Yes,
why? Etisalat are already bidding to buy Vodacom. In fact, it's already geopolitics that is putting some roadblocks. Can I give you some context?
You're saying Etisalat from the UAE, from
the Etisalat
is already bidding to buy Vodacom.
You know, when you're in the markets, what we call markets, you sniff. When I'm buying shares, you do some analysis, but also you sniff around. I can tell you, Etisalat are after Vodacom assets. So what is likely to happen in this deal? The current buyers are negotiating with us, but I am sure they will not go too far before they also sell the same assets to another person at multiples. So why are we selling to a person who will definitely also sell these assets at a higher price? Why can't we go to the market and fetch a higher price? That's number one. Secondly, the other thing, we are here as government handing over an advantage of giving a company a 55% stake. 55% means, you know, companies are ruled by winner take all, just like elections. In Kenya, when you do elections, if you do 50% plus one vote, you are sworn in.
Yes.
That's how our company laws are. Winner take all. So we are handing over to one company 55%. Even for us to be clever as a government, that's not what you do. You counter-check. Go to the market, get the highest bid, but as you get the highest bid, it is more advantageous not to get the person who is already in. Because when it goes to voting, you'll be a priced asset with your 20%.
Yes.
You'll be coughing, and the other shareholders look at who is coughing. Because you may side with this one or with this other one in voting. Those are the kind of considerations we ought to have done, but we never did.
Yes.
I guarantee you again, if we open up this bid, it's actually illegal the way we are doing it. If anyone wants to go to court, there's no rocket science. These things should be uncompetitive. Let me give you some of the few things that even the people who are propagating it don't know, even in the National Treasury. There is something called condition precedent
yes.
in any transaction. condition precedent is, like I'm selling you this land, then as a part of the condition precedent, I tell you because there are some mangoes that are already grown, I'll be coming for 2 sacks every December to posterity. And we sign. That becomes a condition precedent.
Yes.
Let me tell you, in this transaction of Safaricom, Kenya is losing between 70 to 100 billion on condition precedent alone, based on licensing regime.
Okay.
I've given you, go do that homework.
I want us to move to the garden,
Yes.
but please tell me, because the argument for CS Mbadi as to why we cannot go to the market with Safaricom is because we're already in the market with KPC. I've heard him say that, and that we can't go to the same investors with two products. He said that on Fixing the Nation. What is your response to this argument?
It is ignorant, for lack of a better word. It is just naive. Kenya Pipeline is targeting local shareholders. Safaricom should not, in my opinion, you should not actually target, set it as a block. That's what I mean. Open bids to international bidders.
That's your proposal for enlisting it in the London Stock Exchange.
First list, even if you don't list in the JSE, you can still open an international bid. But I'm saying the better route would have been list in the LSE, open up the bid. I can guarantee you, MTN will bid, Etisalat will bid. We can have many global investment companies, KKR, Blackstone, BlackRock, bidding. A bidding war only helps the seller. When you go into a closed room and you're trying to sell our most prized asset by picking a seller who is already having information asymmetry. Remember, the seller we are selling to is already inside
the business, true.
So there is information asymmetry already. They already know more than the other person making a decision knows. Then as I've told you, this is already negotiated condition precedent that is making Kenya lose close to 100 billion in the licensing regime alone. So I'm wondering, man, why are we hurrying at a transaction where we can easily make an extra 150 billion and build more roads? The roads that will be built will give the same government some mileage. How is that even political? How is that political, man?
Yes, you've spoken